Backdrop Lady. That's what it's called. Good evening, everyone. I'm Teddy, and you are listening to Night Talk. So go ahead, grab a glass of wine or whatever you'd like, and join me for our little conversation tonight. Hope you are doing well. I am doing fine. I am all cozied up with my fireplace. Yes, in the background it's gotten a little cooler. I shouldn't even say cooler, colder today. It has, but I'm glad to be here. with each and every one of you, my other bears I call the grizzlies and the honey bears. So let's get some of the news out of the way first. Let's just make sure this is all turned on. There we go. So for those of you who follow, politics and listen to me each and every time I come on, especially during the day, I talk a little bit about the current, news, 5 things you should know, and give a little commentary. But tonight, just a few hours ago, President Donald Trump has ordered an indefinite pause on all U.S. military aid to Ukraine. This is following that heated confrontation last week in the Oval Office, the meeting between him and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and Vice President J.D. Vance, and of course others were in attendance. But some of the key things to think about, what does this mean? Is this forcing President Zelensky to a commitment to pursue this peace negotiation between himself and Trump and Russia? We all know that Trump criticized Zelensky for not actively seeking a peaceful resolution to the ongoing conflict. There was a lot of frustration expressed over the lack of progress. I've been reporting, reading some of the articles from CNN and Fox and Reuters and other news outlets. So, again, the reason for halting the aid stems from this President Trump's dissatisfaction with President Zelensky. So, what does it mean? What is the scope of it? The pause affects over $1 billion in arms and ammunition that had been approved but not yet dispersed to Ukraine. Additionally, future military equipment shipments valued at several $100 million are also on hold. By halting this military aid, again, the U.S., do you think this is pressure or aims to pressure Ukraine into engaging in this peace talk with Russia? Trump told Zelensky, if you listen to the tape, he didn't have the cards. He didn't hold the cards. And President Zelensky said he's not playing cards. That he's serious. But by halting this military aid, one would think it is likely to pressure Ukraine into a deal, and that the Trump administration has even indicated that the resumption of aid is contingent upon Ukraine demonstrating a genuine commitment to peace efforts. So, over the weekend, European leaders were actively working on talks with Zelensky and on a peace plan to address the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. However, they face challenges too in securing security guarantees from Western nations, as the U.S. has declined to provide such assurances. And again, if you've read, if you've been listening, the U.S. has likely put in dollars like 3-to-1 to what the European counterparts. And plus, what the European counterparts have given to Ukraine, those have been in secured loans that they're going to get paid back. And so Trump hearing about that, and he's known about it for some time, and this is just my words from what I've heard and read, that Trump thinks that the European counterparts could do a lot more. So President Trump has suggested that a deal to open Ukraine's mineral resources to U.S. investment could still be achieved, linking economic cooperation to Ukraine's stance on peace negotiations. That comes from Reuters. So this suspension, this halt of the U.S. military aid to Ukraine represents a strategic move by Trump administration to encourage Ukraine to pursue peace negotiations with Russia. While it's intended to facilitate, diplomatic resolution, it's still uncertain regarding Ukraine's defense and what they're going to do and the broader geopolitical dynamics in the region. So again, it's leading all of the news headlines right now. Trump halts all U.S. military aid to Ukraine, White House official says. So what do you think about that? What is this about the sound? I've turned it like way down. Really? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Wow. Okay. I was on another page and I thought I'd turn the music. I turned it down to like 5 and it was still that loud. My apologies. Did you hear? It was louder than my voice. Okay. I mean, I thought I really turned it down. It's off now. You could hear just music a little louder. All right. I have my speakers down, but I know I turned it down to 5, but I have to go by what you're saying. You could hear through the music. Okay. And I was on a roll. Yeah, I had read all of this stuff. I mean, I had been reading it before I come on live. Yeah. Oh, Latoya says it was embarrassing. Teddy, Trump was wrong. Yeah. He's getting a lot of backlash, but he's getting a lot of support too. And remember what he said about making a deal. Let me see. Let's replay that. if I can pull it up. And you know what? Um, President Zelensky was cut off, and it was tense. But some are saying that if people didn't watch the entire meeting, then it would seem that Trump and Vance were rude or bullying Zelensky. I haven't watched the entire thing. Oh, the town hall meetings have been wild. I can only imagine. Today I didn't have time to watch a lot of it, but I wanted to. Wow. Oh, okay. And yes, you say they were disrespectful. Did you see? There's been a lot of course, Congress, different ones, but again, uh, what's her name? Jasmine from Texas. She she had a lot to say. Wow, they all have really. I'm going to say this: if she's not very careful, and this is just my opinion, this is just in a gut feeling. Her, along with a few others, but if she's not very careful, some of the things that she has been saying, even though she's, Congress and you can speak up and speak out and all of that, she has said some things. A number of them have. Wow, let me think about how I want to really say it. Maybe I should let you hear what she said. Let's see. Representative Jasmine Crockett told Elon Musk to F off after a budget protest. Now, that's not even the worst. I think this Congress is just there. I'm I'm just appalled. I I'm appalled at the language that a number of the congressional folks are using. I'm sorry, but I'm ooh. Maybe she's doing it for the cameras, her and a number of others. But some of the things, this is just my personal opinion, some of the things that she said and the way that she has said them, especially when it comes to um, saying things about this country and Russia and the president, even if you feel a certain, she might find herself in a little bit of hot water. That's my own opinion. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, she's getting, she's gotten a reputation for, she's very outspoken. She's very smart, and but I don't know if she's walking a chalk line. I don't know. Her and a few others. Mm-hmm. Mm. Don't let me get started. I'm going to circle back. Maybe not tonight, but I'll circle back and play some of the things that she has said, some of the others have said, back and forth. It's like a cat fight in Congress. It's just really nasty on both sides. On both sides. To me, whether you're Democrat or Republican, I think there is some tact that can be displayed, um, on both sides. Okay, from all, yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all of them. It's really, it's just bad, in my opinion. But what do I know? Okay, where do we, where do I want to go here? Um, so again, I was talking about, Trump, uh, cutting off this aid and support right now, aid to, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. So it was tense, the meeting. It was supposed to end in an agreement to share, these resources, this mining resources. And it just devolved into this heated argument as, President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance insisted that Ukraine should express more gratitude for U.S. support and agree to this ceasefire, even even without any clear security guarantees from the U.S. Remember, Trump told Zelensky, and I'm reading from Time, you don't have the cards right now. That's what he told Zelensky as the two, interrupted each other during, it was very forceful in front of the TV cameras. And Zelensky shot back, we're not playing cards. Hmm. And, yeah, he had repeatedly, told Trump and insisted that the Russian president, Putin, couldn't be trusted, that he had already broken, the ceasefire and prisoner exchange agreements. So it just got sharper and sharper to the point where, uh, Trump said, you're gambling with lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. So, so now it's on hold. Yes, MTG, she's something else too. AOC, something else too. It's a bunch of, yeah. Hmm. Um, what's this nightmare the day Trump and Zelensky had their thing? I really did. Gia's saying, I really did, and that just tells me it's actually hitting home. Even though you're, Canadian, it affects us all. Yeah. Hmm. Can we have a good, yes, just a conversation without the fighting? Mhm. Well, at least can we do some of it behind the camera? Out of the way. I should say out of the way of the camera. How about that? How about that? So let's see if I can play. Um, let's play some music while I'm trying to find something else. Just a little jazz in the background.
As far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. He swore an oath just like the rest of us. But right now, when you are literally putting us at risk, all because of what? Because you want to convince your followers that you should be a dictator too, that you should never leave the White House because you don't believe that elections should take place. I don't really understand what is going on, and I don't know what it's going to take to get people to wake up.
So the enemy of the state, enemy of the there. Wow. She wants people to wake up. So again, she's very outspoken. She's speaking her mind. She's saying a lot of things, and she's walking a really narrow line, I think, uh, especially, I guess, comparing. Let me just read some of your comments. Let's see. Gia says, Latoya, I've never felt more juvenile as when I heard MTG or seen her or see her. I want to have a high school fight with her. You too. Who is that that said we can take it outside? Another congresswoman. And that was after Jasmine Crockett called her a child. She said, child. And the other woman came back, I'm not a child. So it kind of got into, kind of like a high school fight. Yeah. Pink Dynamite says, do you know that MTG's husband was the reporter who asked the question about the suit? I'm not sure. I'll have to go up a little higher and see. Why was it on camera? I don't know. And President Trump knew the cameras were rolling and decided to, just let it continue. So, which suit? Yeah. She gets on most people's nerves. You're talking about MTG. Then when I heard that the ignorant journalist that asked Zelensky about his suit is her best friend, I thought, OMG, makes sense. Oh, you're talking about the suit that the question, yes, about wearing the suit. Well, when he arrived at the White House, and you can see him being greeted by President Trump, I believe it was then that Trump made a comment about what he was wearing. Yeah. Boyfriend. Not best friend, boyfriend. Okay. All right. So that's getting to the gossip. Yes, MTG, AOC, and a few of them. It's like, put them all in a room and ring a bell, and it begins, really. Yeah, they get jabs in left and right. Yeah. I think, now this is my opinion, ever since Jasmine Crockett threw that zinger at Marjorie Taylor Greene, bleach blonde, what did she call her? Bleach blonde. It was like all these bees. Butch built, which I thought was teetering just that part. I don't know if you call it, how do you call it? Sex? It's not sexist, but it's like saying something offensive, I think, about a certain group, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how she got away with maybe just that part. But yeah. Ever since she said that, and it came right after, let's be clear, Marjorie Taylor Greene said something about her lashes, Jasmine's lashes. So, uh, what is this? Three men in a room. One man with a suit, the other two suits without the men. Yeah, someone said President Zelensky showed up with a long sleeve t shirt. This is what I heard today. And wearing that and cargo pants. Well, that's what he, wears most of the time. Yeah. Hmm. I guess President Trump wanted to see him in a suit. Maybe that's the part, one of the parts that he could see as disrespectful. I don't know. Yeah. Does a suit make a man? It certainly says something. Do clothes make a man? Yeah. They say something. Yep. Okay, so I haven't read the bedtime story in a little while. So, and let's get back to it because I plan to wrap it up soon. Now, let's see. Where's my music? And I'll turn it down, okay? Fair use commentary. Can you hear any sound at all? Mm-hmm. All right, so got my Gatorade. Let's see. All right, so the secret treasure. Bringing Elise closer to the dramatic conclusion. So let's start with part 58, The Awakening. Elise gasped as her eyes fluttered open. The damp, musty air filled her lungs, and a dim, flickering torch illuminated the cold stone walls surrounding her. She wasn't on the island anymore. She was underground. Heavy iron shackles, remember, bound her wrist, the rusted metal digging into her skin. The last thing she remembered was opening the chest. I'm taking you back, okay? Now, let's see. Hang on. When you know I just clicked off. Hang on. All right. So recall from the last time, it was this forgotten throne, this golden-eyed man who extended his hand again, but this time Elise didn't pull away. The warmth inside her chest grew, spreading up her spine into her fingertips, and for the first time, she wasn't afraid of it. She stepped toward him, and then Caleb shouted, "Elise, don't." But Elise wasn't listening. As soon as she placed her hand in the golden-eyed man's grasp, a blinding light engulfed the chamber. The stone beneath them rumbled, the very walls of the temple shaking as if it were alive. And then a massive stone throne rose from the ground. Its surface was covered in ancient carvings, its arms engraved with symbols identical to the ones glowing on Elise's skin. Elise's breath caught. This was the real treasure. Not gold, not riches. A throne. And something told her it had been waiting for her all along. So, was Elise really meant to rule, or was she just a pawn? What did Caleb keep from her, and can she trust him? And then, who exactly is the golden-eyed man, and what does he want from her? So now, let me go back down because I put some things in between this. Can't do anything. It's spinning my script. Finally, so hang on. Okay, let's try this again. Make sure my mic is open. So, Elise is going to face the truth about her destiny and the golden-eyed man's revelation. Part 65, The Ruler's Burden. Elise stood frozen, the weight of the golden-eyed man's words sinking in, the ruler of the island. The phrase echoed in her mind, foreign yet familiar. She had come seeking treasure, but what she found was far more than she bargained for. The spirits that once threatened her now stood silent, watching. The swirling mist that had once bound her felt lighter, almost expectant. The golden-eyed man stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. The island does not give power freely. It must be earned, accepted. Elise swallowed hard. And if I refuse? He smiled faintly, though there was no humor in it. Then you become one of them, he gestured toward the spirits, their hollow eyes locked onto her. A chill ran down Elise's spine. She had a choice, but was it really hers to make? Part 66, The Test of Fire. The ground beneath Elise trembled as the golden-eyed man extended his hand toward her. To rule, you must be tested. Before Elise could react, flames erupted from the stone beneath her feet, forming a glowing circle around her. She gasped, stepping back, but the fire didn't burn. It moved with purpose, shifting into intricate patterns across the ground. The fire does not harm, only reveals, the man said. You must walk through it. Elise's pulse pounded in her ears. Was this a trick? A final trial before she truly belonged to the island? She clenched her fists, took a deep breath, and stepped forward into the flames. Part 67, The Vision of the Past. As Elise moved through the fire, the world around her shifted. The island disappeared, and she found herself in an ancient hall lit by torches flickering in iron sconces. Figures in regal robes stood before her, whispering in a language she didn't understand. They wore gold symbols around their necks, the same markings that had been etched into the hidden chests. One woman stepped forward, her eyes eerily like Elise's. You carry our bloodline. The island remembers. Elise tried to speak, but no sound came. The woman reached out, pressing a warm palm to Elise's forehead. Images flooded her mind. A kingdom lost, a ruler betrayed, a power stolen and sealed away beneath the earth. Elise gasped as she pulled back into reality. The flames around her flickered and vanished. She fell to her knees, panting. She knew now she was meant to rule. But over what? Part 68, The Throne Beneath the Earth. The golden-eyed man knelt beside her. You saw it, didn't you? Elise nodded slowly, her heart still racing. I saw a kingdom, a betrayal, the power locked away. He nodded. And now you understand why you're here. Before Elise could answer, the ground beneath them rumbled. The spirits surrounding her whispered, their voices now filled with urgency. The island was waking up. At the center of the chamber, the stone slab that once bore the cryptic warning split apart, revealing a descending staircase carved into the earth. Elise felt an invisible force pulling her forward. The truth, her throne, waited below. Part 69, The Final Choice. Caleb appeared at her side, his face a mask of concern. Elise, don't do this. She turned to him, confusion flickering in her eyes. What do you mean? He exhaled sharply. I've been here longer than you know. I thought I could escape. I thought I could change my fate. But the island, it doesn't let go. Elise's stomach twisted. Then why didn't you tell me sooner? Caleb's expression darkened. Because I needed to know if you were strong enough. If you take that throne, you may never leave. Elise looked between the gaping staircase, the restless spirits, and the golden-eyed man who stood waiting. This was the moment of truth. Would she claim her destiny, or would she fight to break free from the island's grip? In the final 5 parts, Elise will make her ultimate decision. Uncover the island's last secret and face the shocking consequences. Should she accept the throne? Or is there another way out? How would you like it to end? I'm going to ask you that question. Or maybe, how do you think? It will end. Now, this time, could you hear me over the music? I can barely hear it at all. That's a yes. You know, stories like this, it's fiction. Stories meant for, to captivate the imagination. Sometimes they do, depending on the story. I wonder, was the real story that I was telling, almost 2 years ago, and you look back, has it been that long? Why it had to end abruptly. I really think that because I was telling it as a story, it was something about that. Even that. It was different. Remember? It was toward the end of 2023. when they became angry, mhm, it was like a crescendo. It was building and building. Mhm. And it was then that they decided no more. Mhm. No more stories. Do you remember that? They had had enough. Mhm. They made a video. And in that video, they pulled out all of these pictures. Mhm. And one by one, they would show these pictures. And talk about things that even I hadn't seen. Lots of pictures. Mhm. And then they kind of ended with saying, you can't show anything else, you know? They would get through everything. Yeah. They would show pictures on their social media. And I suppose pictures that she thought I had come across. Do you remember that? It was just like, I'm going to show it all. And then you're not going to have anything to talk about. They said it would be OT. Do you remember that? That it was taking too long to tell the story. Dead giveaway. Think about it. Who would suddenly uncover hidden treasure about someone who they don't know, buried deep? How did they find this hidden treasure? Is there a connection? You know, like the story, bloodline connection? How does that happen? How do you explain it? How does someone unlock all of these social media pages suddenly? Uncover only facts that should be known by someone who is family intimate details. How? It was almost as if someone got tired of maybe seeing the picture. Did it remind them of someone? Someone they knew? Was it too agonizing? And someone would question, why would someone do that? So interested. Because they wanted to silence it. They didn't want anything coming, anything else talked about. They even said it. You can't talk about. That was the purpose of their video. They were going to show it all so that I couldn't have anything more to say, or you can't talk about that person anymore. You know, the person that's not them. The person that they were protecting. That's what they said. Something kind of strange about it. And then the beginning of last year, then something happened. More and more. Things that, you know, I can't really, some things I couldn't speak about. I wanted to bring that up to remind you. For someone that's shouldn't mean anything, it meant so much. Think about it. All the trouble and things that were done to squash, to silence something that's not supposed to be related at all to them. If you could add up the sequence of events and trace it back, and the reaction and the behavior, I think it was a secret. Maybe that someone didn't want to be found out. there's something that's, I think, hidden somewhere. Not sure where. But think, if someone, let's see how I would put this. I'll just put it for myself. If someone was trying to find out something about me, that was a secret that I've said no one would ever find out. And I'm seeing how they're moving and looking. If I knew that they weren't close, why would I take any steps to do anything about it? If I really knew that they weren't close, why couldn't I just ignore it? Why would I take deliberate steps to silence it? Retribution, I mean, real strong. If it didn't mean anything. Why would I create a false narrative and involve other people if it didn't mean anything? That's why this mystery, like a story, it's like a real story, a real life story, needs to be solved. It is 11 o'clock. Wait a minute. I know. You can email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. Biggest bear hugs go out to all the grizzlies and the honey bears. Join me sometime tomorrow. I hope to come on for Mocha. And yeah. Where is, wait a minute. Where did I put it? Oh well. But now it's time to say good night. Baby Juju, great live and story time. Good night, Teddy. And good night. What is this? Yeah, Teddy, we don't know what we don't know, but God does. Isn't that something? He knows everything. The answers. All the secrets in the palm of his hand. He could reveal those. Or not. Amen. Yes. Yeah. It's a mystery. Everything, really. And, yeah. Again, prayers go up for the family who have lost loved ones. And I sent Angel, Joy's daughter, last week. I just, sent her a little note. Yeah. From us. On the anniversary. Yeah. Of her mom's passing. So that's it. Did I say thanks for watching? Until next time, I'm Teddy. Good night.